Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on March the 17th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So overall, basically, in terms of what to expect here, we do have on Wednesday here, we have parliamentary elections in, or I should say in the Eurozone here, Dutch parliamentary elections. Important news here, though, CPI numbers for the year for the Eurozone. So at this point, the CPI or inflation numbers, these are important numbers because they basically, with all the monetary policy stimulus that has been going on in the market, if the inflation gets too out of control, that would be a negative thing. But we do need some inflation because before the inflation was running low. So at this point, the numbers are relatively close to what we have previously. So these these numbers here for the Eurozone here, yearly numbers, so they're close to what we had previously. So if they stay or they follow along this path or they're a little bit higher, all of that would be good for the Eurozone or the euro dollar, I should say. And then coming up here, we do have CPI numbers, monthly CPI numbers for Canada, as well as yearly numbers here for Canada as well. So same thing here, these numbers are supposed to improve a bit, which is a good thing. But if they go too out of whack, that would be a problem, which I'm not expecting at this point. Big thing tomorrow coming up on Wednesday here would be the Fed meeting. So today we did see that in the stock market, things pulled back a bit, and a lot of that had to do with the Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday here. So that's something to keep in mind here. There is concern in the market in regards to the amount of money that has been spent around inflation, all of that. So a lot of people thinking that maybe Fed's hand will be forced into raising rates sooner than expected because of inflation getting out of hand. However, not expecting that to happen anytime soon. I think at this point, the Fed will toe the line and just essentially stay with the current policy and not make much changes. But even then, there would be a bit of a pullback before the Fed meeting because, again, these meetings are very important, and anything that is said, just a commentary can change the direction of the market. So we'll keep an eye on that. We also have GDP numbers here for New Zealand and employment numbers for Australia. So both of these will, if the numbers come in positive, then we are looking for a positive impact on both of these currencies. But if they are not in line with expectations, that will be negative. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar here. Euro, we are still biased to the downside here. It has been making lower highs and lower lows. So bias is still to the downside. Now looking for price to drop further towards 1.1830. A bit of a pullback potential here towards 1.1920. And then looking for a drop, so looking for a continuation here to the downside. Now, keep in mind, though, we are looking at, we have Fed statement tomorrow, so that will have an impact on all of these US dollar crosses. So bear that in mind, though. So bias here is bearish still, but keep in mind the Fed statement, which could change things. Pound here, pound, we did see a drop in pound dollar, but then we have this move back up. So this big drop here did get turned around. So at this point, this is neutral here. I would be looking for price to drop back down, potentially towards a 1.3840. And then if it holds, we could see it go back up. So right now it is still trading in this immediate range and then larger range here. So bias right now is neutral, looking for a retest of 1.3840. But if it doesn't go through, basically we're back into the range again. So neutral bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, same thing. Price did come back to test the support level here, but it hasn't really been able to break it at this point. So I'm looking for a retest. And again, if it doesn't go through, then we will be looking for price to move back up towards the top of the range here. So right now, neutral bias here for Aussie dollar and potential move towards 0.7800. New Zealand dollar here, this one as well, kind of stuck in a range right now, not really doing a whole lot. And bias is neutral here. In this case, I'd be looking for a move towards 0.7150. And then if it goes through that, next target would be 0.7100. So bias here is neutral, looking for it to trade within the range here. Dollar CAD here, we do finally have a close below the support level. So bias here is bearish now. And in terms of where we are, going back into, okay, so we are into that support resistance level and bias is bearish. Next target here is 1.3890. So 1.2400 will be the first target here. And should it continue below that, we have 1.2380. So bias here is bearish for dollar CAD. And next target 1.23, so 1.2400 and 1.2380 will be the next two targets. All right, let's take a look at our commodities here, starting off with silver. As we can see, price is stuck here in this range. It hasn't been able to break through the resistance, so we do have a bearish candle close here, so looking for a follow through back into the support level at 25.37, so bearish bias here for silver. Gold here, this is looking neutral. Price has not been able to break through this resistance. It's still stuck here. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback and then a move back down. So if it holds below 1739, 1740 level, so looking for a drop back down here. In this case, the first target is 1720. And then we could see a move back towards 1706 and even potentially 1700. So neutral bias here for gold. Oil here, we did see that drop in oil. Now it is bouncing off of the support level, so we do need to be careful here. But right now it is stuck in this range, so looking for a retest of the 63.50. And same thing here, if it bounces off of that level, then basically we are back into the range again. So right now, neutral bias here for oil. Copper here, we did get that drop that we were looking for in copper, so looking for a follow through now. In terms of a pullback, we could get a pullback towards 4.03, and then next target here is 3.95, so bias is bearish for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin has been interesting. We did get that drop, then price bounced off. It doesn't look quite bullish just yet. So right now, neutral bias, as long as it holds below 57,000, we're looking for a move back down towards 53,000 here. So bias is neutral to bearish here. 53,000 is the target. S&P 500, we have a neutral candle close for the day. It did try to go through the resistance, didn't quite hold, and now we are back again. So a lot of this is also market participants waiting to see what Fed will come back with. So prior to the Fed meeting, we could see a drop, but if the commentary is basically bullish and Fed is supporting the stimulus programs, then we are looking for price to go back up again. So we may see a bit of a dip here and then a bounce off of that level, depending on what the Fed says. So right now, bias is neutral. We can look for a pullback towards 39.35. Nasdaq here, Nasdaq also looking a little neutral right now. Price went almost into the resistance here, but then it has bounced off. So I'm looking for this 13,200 level. If it holds below, we're looking for a move down towards 12,980. So bias is neutral here for Nasdaq as well. We may just get a range bound move ahead of Fed. And then Dow Jones here, this looks like it could drop a bit, but again, looking for more of a pullback here ahead of the Fed meeting. So at this point, the target here is 36,620. So neutral bias here for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, DAX also kind of trading sideways here. So in this case, if it doesn't go through, again, looking for a move back down here towards this support level. So neutral bias, this is still range bound here. So 14,390 is the target. And then we have FTSE here. FTSE, it is making higher lows here and higher highs, but it doesn't quite have the momentum like it did here. So right now, neutral to bullish bias here. If it doesn't hold above 67.85, again, this could come back into the range. So we have to be mindful of that. Bias is neutral to bullish here. And last but not least, we have Nikkei here. Nikkei also looking neutral. It has failed to go through the resistance. We've been watching this 30,000 level. So today, if it fails, we are basically looking for a move back down here. So bias here is neutral for Nikkei. And in terms of the target, we will look at 29,500 as the target for this one. So that's it for today. Guys, have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.